I'm Jordyn.
And I'm Lexie.
And today we're going to be talking about an article from the Grassroots Writing Journal called That's So Sweet, Where Writing Research Stops and Starts for Cheesecake by Angela Sheets.
So the topic we're going to be focusing on is related to analyzing articles. In this article in particular, we're correlating between generalizing the public to be in a successful type of lifestyle and the steps of building businesses and such that Lindsay talks about in this article in particular. So we're going to be relating this to trial and error as well, because she places trial and error on this pedestal, and we just want to make sure that we're talking about every single detail and such.
So a big part of Lindsay's process was using a chalkboard, specifically to write down the flavors of the cheesecake. So we utilized that in our organizational skills, and so we mapped out pretty much what we were going to be talking about, everything. So, yeah.
Want to get started?
Yeah.
All right, let's talk cheesecake. So, Lindsay, great person that Angela interviewed in this whole article, she's the owner of That's So Sweet Bakery in Lexington, and she has 2 branches there and actually here in Illinois. And Angela got the time to talk to her about her business strategies and how she got her business started here. And with that, she talks about her materials, with that she adds the proposal and the actual steps that she took to get the space. She has her writing. Writing is a huge part in this. You know, she stresses that writing is one of the major parts in this whole process. She needed to make sure grammar was correct, and she had all the tools necessary for writing. And the last subtopic we're going to discuss is her research into this.
So we'll get started with the materials. The materials that she had included social media, emails, menus, and pamphlets. And she needed to figure out what was appropriate to say and how to go about saying that. So she had to do a lot of research in order to get the best space for her store, for example. But to kind of more like generalize that, he said that it involved a lot of time management, figuring out that you have to write in a professional manner, and if you don't figure out what's appropriate versus not appropriate, then people may take that in the wrong way, and they may not see you as professional as you want it to be.
Yes, and to also top off that, with the subtopics of her materials, they actually lead into her writing. So with that, we have her emails, her pamphlets, her menus, everything that she used for her writing, including her cell phone and social media. Those are all aspects of writing. So with that, she needed to make sure grammar was huge with that as well. To generalize this, with writing in general, we need to make sure that whatever writing is put out there, that how it's produced, we need to make sure we're thinking of the whole entire production team, not just the actual finalized product. So with that, we have a quote that we want to say. And that's, yes, we make cheesecakes, but there's people beyond the cheesecakes. And that's basically saying there's people beyond writing, there's people beyond creating, and we need to think about that as a broader spectrum and not just, oh, that's the cheesecake, it's done. We need to incorporate everything.
Yeah. So, to go into my next point, with the emails and the pamphlets, Facebook, especially with social media, and the chalkboard, she stressed the importance of grammar again. And you want to go into...
You remember we talk about Facebook now, right?
True.
Because that goes into social media, so we can just talk about Facebook. Okay. She stressed that Facebook was a great drawer to get everyone's attention. With Facebook, she had... she wanted to incorporate food photography, and she had no idea what to do, so she recruited these lovely people from Fabulous Affairs just down the street. It was perfect. They're a photography company, and she was like, okay, I need help getting this started, getting the ball rolling with taking pictures of my food, because she's going to post them on her Facebook page and then get all these likes, and she stressed that likes would get her business rolling. She'd get this clientele that she didn't expect to get, and then that would draw business and draw more of an attention to her. So Facebook likes and these photos were a huge thing for her for posting. Generalizing that, we have Time Saver. Okay, with Time Saver, she's able to set her Facebook in a way that it will post things on a certain schedule. So she'll be like, okay, now I'm going to set this to be posted at this time, and that's a huge time saver for her. So in the real world, we need to learn that time saving is a huge management for business as well. Okay.
So then we can go on to she utilized her cell phone in regards to the Facebook pages to using the notebook or the note app on her phone. She had a laptop at the Lexington store, but she preferred carrying around her cell phone. And she's a huge list person. Cell phones do everything, so you can generalize that into everyone in the real world. We all use our cell phones. I mean, our cell phones are attached to our hips. You use it for the camera, for the note app, for Facebook, for any kind of emailing. It's utilized a lot more now, so you can use that for everything, and you should use it if you can.
Yeah, cell phones I think are a huge part of everyday life too, so with writing. I mean, texting is not so much as of a grammar aspect, but I feel like with her emails we're more of the grammar aspect of writing.
Yeah, and that goes back to what we had mentioned before, like you have one or two mistakes in a post and you could come across as not as professional as people would make you out to be. So it does play a very big part.
All right, now we're going to move on to the chalkboard, which is our example of our chalkboard that we have. It was our inspiration. But with her chalkboard, she was able to express her flavors of the day. And the flavors of the day were something that she was expressing to her clients in an entertaining way. You know, the chalkboard you don't see in an everyday business, and that was something that she used that set her apart from different businesses. You know, this was her unique inclusion of her business. And with that, generalizing to like a larger population with that, just finding a way to entertain clients and just catch their eye in a different way is like a huge thing, because then like more people are going to be entertained by your stuff, and it's a great tool. Like, this is a visual tool. People are there's a lot of people that are visual learners, and with that, we need to incorporate every type of learning, but with visual, this is a huge type of visual learning, and I think a lot of clients will appreciate that when they walk into the store.
Yeah, so now we can head on up to research, and this is just kind of tying everything together. She did a lot of research in a lot of different aspects. She had to reach out to other people, lawyers, people who knew how to write contracts, things like that. And you can generalize that into, you know, if you really don't have the experience for something, or you just don't know how to do anything, you shouldn't be scared or timid to be able to ask for help, because you don't want to, it's through trial and error. You don't want to show that you can't do something. You should just be able to say, like, I don't know how to do this, and I need to go get help for it. And there's nothing wrong with that ever. And she also did she did research in regards to flavors of cheesecake. She started out with her own, like, general recipe. But if she wanted to do a flavor that wasn't very, like, typical, she would do research into what worked, what didn't work, stuff like that. So, yeah.
You know, in trial and error, we also found that trial and error is like with everything that was part of this article. You know, she this was all for the first time for her. You know, this was her first time starting a business. You know, starting her recipes up. So this was all like a brand new thing. So with trial and error, that was her main thing that she was stressing, and generalizing that. You know. Going out into the real world, you need to understand that there's going to be things that we're not going to be ready for. And with that is trial and error. We're going to try things. You know, we need to put our foot out there, put our foot through the door, and make sure that we're trying everything we can, because giving up is our last option. Trial and error is the only way to succeed.
Yeah. So this was our podcast.
Yep.
Yeah. Thanks for listening.
Thanks.